Hey everybody, it's Biking Sean. I wanted to show you a brand new knife from Spyderco, the Manix 2 XL. Hope you enjoy. Okay, so a while back on my channel I did a review of this knife, Spyderco's Manix 2 lightweight version with translucent blue fiberglass reinforced copolymer handle scales and the Carpenter steel CTS BD1 blade steel with a full flat ground blade. This was a knife that I was really interested in for a long time, and when it came out I picked this up and I've been carrying it a lot as my everyday carry knife. It's a really enjoyable knife to carry. It's really lightweight. You hardly notice it in your pocket, but it has a really great nearly 3.5-inch blade, which is really effective for all kinds of utility tasks that you'll have. Now recently Spyderco released their 2012 catalog, and a new knife for 2012 is the Manix 2 XL, or the Mega-Manix. And I just kind of wanted to show this. I haven't had this knife for very long. It came out about a week ago, and I just kind of want to give you guys a look at it, kind of just show it off a little bit here, and maybe compare it a little bit with a couple other Spyderco knives that you might be familiar with to get an idea of the size. One thing that I will point out is that Spyderco has upgraded the steel in this knife to Crucible's S30V, which is really awesome. This knife is also made in the USA, Golden, Colorado, USA, and I'm really enjoying this knife. It is a big knife. It is nearly a 4-inch blade. The total length of the knife overall is nearly 9 inches, and it weighs in at over 6 ounces. So compared to this knife, which weighs in at under 3 ounces, and obviously it's smaller in proportion all the way around, that's a big difference. But sometimes the task calls for a little bit bigger blade, and this one can certainly handle a lot of things that this one can't. So I'll just kind of sit these next to each other here a little bit and let you take in kind of a comparison of these two very different but sort of similar knives. Both knives have the ball bearing lock that came out with the Manix 2, I believe, and functions similarly to Benchmade's Axis lock. It has a little ball bearing that rides on a track, or in a little cage, I guess they call it, right here, and goes back and forth and fits into a notch on the tang of the blade to lock it in place. And you simply pull this back, the blade drops pretty smoothly, and there you go. Same thing with the lightweight version. This one isn't as smooth closing, but if you give it a little flick, it'll close. Now this is pin construction, and that kind of is not a real positive for this knife, but something that I'm okay with. I have no real problem with it. There are a lot of knives that are pin construction, like the Delica, for example, and I'm fine with that. This knife, the Mega-Manix, has screw construction, so that's nice. Let's just look at a couple other knives to compare it to. Obviously you can kind of see the difference here. I mean, it's just bigger all the way around proportionally. And actually in the hand, I'll kind of show you that. There's a lot of room, beneath the pinky there. Kind of has a little bit more of a hook at the end there. But I mean, it really fits the hand nicely. I have medium-sized hands, and this fits really well. This Manix 2 has great ergonomics also, but you can see there it doesn't have as much of a hook on the end. But still really nice. Here's the Paramilitary 2, and you can see that the Mega-Manix kind of dwarfs the Paramilitary 2. which is, you know, pretty amazing. And just for the fun of it, because this is a new knife for me, and I just kind of want to show it off. The Sage 1 with the carbon fiber. Obviously, this is a smaller knife than the regular Manix 2, but you know, no comparison here as far as the size. But again, I just kind of wanted to show off my new Sage 1. So. So my overall impressions of the Manix 2 XL are very positive. The weight isn't really an issue for me, although it could be a little bit heavy for some people at over 6 ounces. You know, it's definitely a solid knife, and you'll definitely feel it. But I kind of like the kind of sense of weight and substance that this knife has. You know, it doesn't ride excessively low in the pocket. You can kind of see that there's going to be a little bit sticking up, but you know, that's okay in a lot of circumstances, and maybe you'll choose a different knife if you want a little bit lower, more concealed carry. But you know, this knife has full steel liners. They're not milled out at all, which definitely adds to the weight, but you know, also adds to the sturdiness of this knife. You know, it's very similar to the regular Manix 2 in a lot of ways, but this blade, being this size, I just think it really works well. I had some cardboard that I was breaking down, and I mean, it just went through it like nothing. It could have been, you know, copy paper when this knife went through that cardboard. It was no problem at all. It's a great slicer, and I think that this size, you know, it's getting a little bit long. You know, 4 inches is probably my max that I typically carry, but it just feels right on this knife. I just love the way that this knife feels in the hand. You can do the reverse grip as well, and that works really well. But you know, super ergonomic, and this one's just really smooth. The ball bearing lock works great. You can flick it out no problem. Yeah, so that's really cool. I really like the Mega-Manix. You know, great G10, super ergonomic, love the size, and I would recommend checking it out.